Fox 4's Elise Chingari is live in Fort Myers Shores right now, getting a first-hand look at the damage and hearing some very sad but incredible stories. Elise.
Good morning, Amy and Chris. Yes, we are here at Fort Myers Shores. If you're not totally familiar with the area, it's right on the Caloosahatchee River, so there's multiple canals. And I will tell you this, when you come down, these neighborhoods, majority of these houses, they are standing. Maybe there's little parts and pieces of their roof that's missing, but what they experienced is massive flooding. They're telling me that, their homes flooded so bad that they've lost everything. And I've been speaking with a gentleman over here. His name is Lee. Let me just get right to it. Let you hear what he has to say about this.
We lost basically everything our whole life. I mean, things of value, but the sentimental stuff that you lost, like letters from my grandfather that I can never, I can never read again. That kind of stuff. When it's all waterlogged and soaked and gone, that you throw away your heart. And but this is our life right now. This is in these piles. Everything in the home from 3 feet down is destroyed by water. We got to pull the walls out, the insulation, mold started. It's quite an experience, something you'll probably never forget. But the older you get, the harder it is, and 12-hour days to strip the home. Everything in the garage is gone, so it's horrendous.
It breaks your heart to hear Lee's, and I want to say his story, but it's not his story. This is his life. My photographer Kevin and I, we were over there near Sanibel a week ago. We experienced that hurricane firsthand. We saw it. And, Lee said he evacuated, but there's other people in this neighborhood, they did not evacuate. They came up to me, they thanked us. They said, thank you for coming to this neighborhood. They said they haven't seen it on the news yet. I spoke, if you see that blue car over there, actually, I spoke with the daughter, Michelle. She was telling me her parents, the house is destroyed. They are actually living in their boat in the backyard. And she tells me that her dad, had massive heart surgery back in March. And, they said, if he made it through that, hopefully, he can make it through this. They're trying to stay as positive as possible. But these people, when you're thinking about it, you see all this stuff here and you might think, oh, it's mattresses and, chairs and things like that. But, like you heard Lee say, it's pictures. It's things that they can't, get back. The other people, they have a rug that they're trying to dry out on the front yard because their son passed away. He's a veteran, and they say that's the last thing that they have from him. They're hoping to dry that out. I mean, you see the pictures, you see the videos. I'm sure our viewers, they're watching this, but being out here, you get chills. And, talking to these people, it's difficult. And talking with Lee over here, they're going through the house. He has a vacuum here that, he remembers he wrote Hoover on it when, he was younger, and his mother passed away and gave that to him. And he says, that's, ruined now as well. And, there's Lee, waving. They're trying to stay as positive as possible and, really getting to know the community here. And I know you see this sign here. It says, mess you're seeing, thanks Ian. So this is something that Lee put out here. But I want to show you the other side. Bear with me with these nails here. But he was hoping that this would make people smile this morning. This is the other part of his sign there. And I do have one more story. A gentleman came by, he stopped his truck and he came to us and he said he really wants this to be on live TV. He says the community, he didn't lose his house, it's still there, but you can't live in it. He says his neighbor lost his entire house and then he's staying on a boat somewhere, and he invited that gentleman to stay with him to, have a shower and to have water. And he says he's a cancer survivor, and he says, the community is really getting through this. He said nobody's leaving Florida. He said, this is really kindness and just shows how strong this community is. In fact, Lee says that a woman in Naples is donating him a refrigerator. It's things that are really important to this community. So I'm glad to be out here today in Fort Myers Shores, and I hope that this gives some sense of, something for the community to really see. They are coming together, but, they are really struggling. And, they're saying insurance is not going to cover anything. Insurance is actually asking them to rip out the drywall themselves. So this is just what this community right here is experiencing in Fort Myers Shores. And in the meantime, live here in Fort Myers, Elise Chingari, Fox 4.